Patricia Gibson.
Hear, hear.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. And this evening's debate could not be more important to the good people of Ayrshire, but as everyone at home can see and everybody in the chamber can see, it's also very important to MPs across Scotland who have turned out to show their support for the Ayrshire Growth Deal. Because the Ayrshire Growth Deal is of huge importance to re-energising the economy of the whole county of Ayrshire. And the part of Ayrshire I represent, North Ayrshire and Arran, indeed the entirety of the Ayrshire county, has quite breathtakingly natural beauty in parts. However, no one would deny that it also has its own challenges to meet. The Ayrshire Growth Deal, should it secure the necessary support from the United Kingdom Government, would represent a step change in economic growth in the economic prospects of Ayrshire. The Scottish Government is already supportive, but UK Government support and the value it can bring cannot and must not be underestimated. Indeed, the entire Ayrshire Growth Deal really depends upon support from the United Kingdom Government.
Hear, hear.
Hear, hear.
Targeting the costed £359.8 million of investment would support a number of exciting projects and generate and stimulate real and lasting inclusive economic growth. The Scottish Government is enthusiastic about this, and I understand correctly, I hope, that the UK Government is receptive to this as well. And I'm keen tonight for the Minister to articulate his Government's support for this bold, ambitious and innovative, transformative vision for the whole of Ayrshire.
Hear, hear.
The feedback from the Secretary of State for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy has been most encouraging, and I understand the Secretary of State for Scotland has expressed his support for this initiative as well. I am therefore both lobbying and urging the Minister today to do all he can to ensure that on the day of the spring budget on the 8th of March, the Ayrshire Growth Deal is firmly on the United Kingdom Government's agenda. There is no doubt on these benches and across the whole county of Ayrshire there is a collective will to maximise the considerable and significant economic potential of this particularly picturesque part of Scotland.
Hear, hear.
We all know that in the past, such growth deals have focused on cities, but I also sense that there is some interest in seeing how such an initiative would work on such a diverse county that Ayrshire is, with its mix of urbanisation, towns, rural elements and indeed 2 islands. Indeed, it is a diverse county with so much to offer, and there is no doubt that stimulated growth would be repaid, as it would do much to re-energise, galvanise and revitalise the considerable untapped potential of the Ayrshire economy. I will indeed give way.
I thank my friend for giving way, and I congratulate her on securing this very important debate for our area. She rightly said that today the government's focused on city deals, and city deals have certainly got their place, and we welcome the investment that's brought to Scotland. There's absolutely no doubt in terms of connectivity and distance from cities that another approach needs to be undertaken to regenerate areas like Ayrshire who have suffered from deindustrialisation. Sadly, I was looking today at the latest unemployment figures. Kilmarnock Loud in my constituency, 1,960, the 76th highest constituency. Ayr Carrick Cumnock, 1,745. Central Ayrshire 1,635, North Ayrshire and Arran 2,185, the 29th highest constituency in terms of unemployment. So it is really important a new way is found to reindustrialise our area.
I think the figures that the honourable gentleman has quoted indeed paint their own picture of the challenges that the entire county of Ayrshire faces, and I'm sure the Minister was listening keenly and will take them on board. For Ayrshire to truly reach its potential, it's essential to reduce inequalities across communities, giving everyone a stake in Ayrshire's growth. Therefore, inclusive growth is and must be an integral part of the Ayrshire Growth Deal business case. A successful economy must ensure that all the talents of our people are harnessed, which will help Ayrshire to be truly competitive and resilient to emerging technologies and challenges. And we must work to ensure that Ayrshire folk are better connected to the economy and have better and greater opportunities to prosper. And I believe all MPs on these benches believe that the Ayrshire Growth Deal provides a compelling route as to how this could be done.
Hear, hear.
We have so many resources and successes in Ayrshire on which we can build, with our aerospace and space industry, life sciences and manufacturing.
Will the Honourable Lady give?
I will indeed.
I mean, as well as the beauty that my honourable friend has mentioned, we actually have incredible potential. Even within my small part of Ayrshire, we have life sciences at one end, but at the other we have an airport that has the potential to actually be not just Scotland's first passenger airport, which it was, but to be the UK's first spaceport, with its long runway, its clear weather, and an air traffic control centre and its aerospace cluster. So we have the pieces of marble in the grass. We just need the help to put them on top of each other.
Hear, hear.
I think my honourable friend has well articulated the importance and the opportunity that we have in Ayrshire with the spaceport and the way that we can build upon that to spread growth and attract growth to Ayrshire itself. In addition, we can enhance Ayrshire's beautiful coast and capitalise on the considerable opportunities that Ayrshire's harbours and ports provide. Indeed, proposed projects are well placed to feed into the delivery of national tourism strategies, such as marine tourism. This is an area in which there is great potential for growth in Ayrshire, but the infrastructure to make this possible is essential, alongside opportunities for the provision of land for the development of new housing. And I am particularly excited, Madam Deputy Speaker, about the coastal regeneration of Ardrossan, whereby investment of around £22 million will deliver a transformation of the port as a regional transport interchange serving South West Scotland. Ardrossan is Scotland's largest and busiest ferry terminal and very well placed to play a key role in delivering wider benefits to communities and businesses across Ayrshire. The prize is a port that will serve and promote a range of opportunities: cruising, leisure, marine tourism, waterfront residential, as well as improving lifeline services to the Isle of Arran, which I believe will continue to be served from the port of Ardrossan. And the exciting spaceport mentioned by my honourable friend will support the establishment of a spaceport at Prestwick Airport. Estimates from the Spaceport UK report of 2014 shows that the spaceport has the potential to cumulatively realise a baseline of £320 million of additional economic activity. The vision is also for Ayrshire to be recognised as a centre for excellence for digital skills. And this can be done by developing, indeed transforming, the use of digital technology in schools, weaving technology through the teaching and learning process. Ayrshire's Connected Classroom is a recognition that digital is a key enabler for science, technology, engineering and mathematics, the so-called STEM subjects, ensuring our young people are well prepared for our increasingly digital world. And such a digitally savvy generation will support the exciting potential of Ayrshire's space industry and aerospace innovation district. North Ayrshire schools...
Sorry, on that,
I will indeed give way to the honourable gentleman.
Thank you for giving away again. Yeah, I think the digital connectivity is a fantastic initiative to give every kid in Ayrshire from the age of 3 to 18 the highest level of digital connectivity is a welcome ambition. It will help close skills gap and productivity gap when they move into workforce. There's a laudable aim to get 40% higher entry level into the digital workforce. And just yesterday I was reading an EU Commission report that says at the moment in the UK there's 5,000 e-skills vacancies, predicted to rise to 161,000 vacancies. So such an initiative could actually open opportunities across the entire UK.
Indeed they could, and the importance of upskilling our population cannot be underestimated when we're talking about economic growth and indeed inclusive growth. North Ayrshire schools have the third highest rate of positive outcomes for school leavers in Scotland. By continuing to ensure that our transitions from school are robust and continue to develop, Ayrshire is well placed to meet changing economic challenges, and this will enable our communities to become more prosperous, ambitious and vibrant. The UK's medicine industry is one of the leading manufacturing sectors, with exports worth more than £22 billion. The Medicines Manufacturing Innovation Centre is a national innovation centre for the life science and pharmaceutical industry site. North Ayrshire is shortlisted to host this centre, and infrastructure funding secured through the Ayrshire Growth Deal would go a long way to seeing this constructed in Ayrshire's I3 Investment Park in Irvine before too long. Ayrshire has so much to offer, and all members of this House, including the honourable gentleman opposite, are invited to sample some of the delights of Ayrshire, both in the gastronomic sense and business potential.
Would the Honourable Lady give way?
I will indeed.
I thank the Honourable Lady for giving way. I'm lucky enough to have some fantastic drinks companies in my constituency, including Hendrick's Gin, Caledonian Bottlers and Ayr Brewing Company, with wonderful food suppliers such as Weehee Meat, Barway Dairy, Chocolati and Round Square Coffee. Too many to mention, in fact. Would my honourable friend agree with me that this growth deal would be a very welcome and much needed boost to Ayrshire, which would include the food and drink sector too?
Indeed. One of the real selling points of Ayrshire, one of the reasons why many people come to Ayrshire, apart from the fantastic scenery, the lovely people, is indeed the gastronomic delights, some of which my honourable lady has mentioned, although you know, it's not just I wouldn't want the honourable gentleman to think it was just about the alcohol. We have so much we have so much more to offer. Although the alcohol does go down well too.
It washes down the cheese.
The gastronomic delights about which I spoke, to which the honourable gentleman is invited, indeed all honourable members are invited, is on the 8th of February. And it is hosted by all 4 Ayrshire MPs on these benches. And what this event will show, if indeed it needs to be shown to those who have not been yet lucky enough to visit Ayrshire, is Ayrshire is one of the most productive agricultural regions of the United Kingdom and is well known for its outstanding and award-winning food and drink produce. Home to not just a range of dairy, beef and seafood suppliers, but also world-renowned farmhouse cheesemakers, ice creams, bakers, brewers, smokehousers, chocolatiers, all the things my honourable lady mentioned before me.
World Scotch Pie Championship this one as well.
Indeed. And perhaps with this gastronomic feast that we could lay out in front of you in Ayrshire, perhaps, Madam Deputy Speaker, that is why in my own constituency in the town of Dalry, it houses a very well-respected Michelin-starred restaurant, which I would recommend to the Deputy, Madam Speaker. Ultimately, the Ayrshire Growth Deal is about people. Removing barriers to employment, upskilling our workforce to address the issue of low pay, promoting apprenticeships.
Will my honourable friend give way?
I will indeed.
There is an additional strength, and I'm sure that my colleague would agree with me, in that we have the 3 separate campuses of the Ayrshire College that work very closely with our local employers, such as aerospace, such as food and drink, to ensure that the young people training in them, and indeed in some of the senior parts of our schools, are actually working with the same equipment, the same materials they would work at professionally, and therefore we get this great relationship of delivering skills that local industry needs.
Absolutely. I have to say that you make an excellent point. Madam Deputy Speaker, my colleague makes an excellent point. The Honourable Lady makes an excellent point. The links that the Ayrshire College has with local employers is really something I think that other colleges around the United Kingdom really ought to look at, because the links with local employers, delivering the skills to young people that local employers say they need and of which there is short supply, is second to none. Indeed, Ayrshire College has won many accolades, far too many for me to mention to the honourable gentleman today, for its work in this sphere and in several other spheres too. But
one final.
I will indeed.
Thank one friend for one final intervention. In terms of the Ayrshire College campus, just recently opened a £53 million new campus in Kilmarnock. It's a fantastic facility. As I said, it's all about getting people ready to get into the workplace. So that's what it's all about, is getting people ready for that workplace. Now, that campus is built on the site of former Johnny Walker bottling plant in Kilmarnock, which is an iconic industry lost to the town. There's actually, as part of this Ayrshire Growth Deal, there's the Ayrshire Halo project, which would see the final regeneration of that entire site. And that project is predicted to generate nearly 1,000 jobs. It's actually shovel ready. I think that's another fantastic aspect of the Ayrshire Growth Deal, is there are some real projects that come out of the ground really quickly, and we see real results in a very short space of time.
I thank my honourable gentleman for that point, and the point that he makes, of course, and which the Minister will be well aware, is that economic growth creates economic growth. It creates its own dynamic. So if we have this investment, Ayrshire will become, it will grow from a flower into a tree. Use that analogy.
Biologically possible.
Very poetic.
That's the magic growing skills there. Sure.
Yes, I may represent some of the parts of the country that Robert Burns was familiar with, but I don't have his skill in
Never.
We want to remove the barriers to employment. We want to upskill our workforce to address the issue of low pay. We want to promote apprenticeships, linking these with schools and investing in our schools and local colleges, supporting local companies with the greatest ambitions for growth, attracting new inward investment, delivering on key infrastructure projects such as the Dalry bypass, which is very close to starting, improving connectivity, improving public transport, improving digital connectivity by investing in the rollout of superfast broadband. I'm very pleased that we have secured this debate this evening about the Ayrshire Growth Deal in the Chamber of the House of Commons, and I'm delighted that, as far as I have been able to establish, this is the first time that Ayrshire has been centre stage in the House of Commons. And I'm proud that my colleagues have with me set out the ambitious plans for Ayrshire, our bold vision, which requires, in the scheme of things, Madam Deputy Speaker, quite a modest £359.8 million, which will of course be in partnership with the Scottish Government and local authorities. I'm delighted that the UK Government is engaging in this debate, and I hope that with this investment forthcoming, that Ayrshire can enjoy inclusive growth and her greatest asset, her people, can reach their true potential.
Hear, hear.
If I may be permitted to perhaps give another bash at the poetry, Madam Deputy Speaker. Relative to what it is now, as much as it is now, the Ayrshire Growth Deal could awaken what may be called the economic sleeping giant of Ayrshire. Wonderful as this part of the country is, it could be, and I hope with the UK Government's help, it will be so much more. What the Ayrshire Growth Deal seeks to create is a virtuous circle of growth. Growth in business leading to growth in employment and growth in individual household prosperity. And as a benefit to that, growth in health outcomes. I urge the Minister and indeed the Chancellor of the Exchequer to offer support to Ayrshire's Growth Deal when he delivers his deliberations in the spring budget on the 8th of March. I urge him to work with us, the 4 Ayrshire MPs, with the 3 Ayrshire local authorities and the Scottish Government. This vision is a partnership of the best in the private and public sectors and represents key stakeholders in Ayrshire. It represents the local knowledge of Ayrshire College. It represents the University of the West of Scotland and the Ayrshire Chamber of Commerce, which has been fused with the national expertise of Scottish Enterprise, Skills Development Scotland and the Scottish Futures Trust and the Scottish Council for Development and Industry. We're all working together for the good of Ayrshire and her people, and I urge that the UK Government in its spring budget joins with us and supports that work and invests in the country of Ayrshire and invests in the people of Ayrshire.
Yeah.
Minister Michael Ellis.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Madam Deputy Speaker, and I congratulate the honourable member on securing this debate. The honourable member for North Ayrshire and Arran spoke so well for her constituency and for her area, if I may say so. I felt like I was sitting through a 20-minute commercial from the Ayrshire Tourist Board, for, if there is such a thing, for the picturesque and beautiful area that she has the honour to represent. And the gastronomic delights, for one thing, were certainly something that I found very interesting. But I'm also aware that she raised this matter in oral questions to Her Majesty's Treasury just earlier this week, and has previously written to my right honourable friend, the Secretary of State for Scotland, on this matter as well, quite recently. So she has clearly been working hard for her constituents in raising this at every possible opportunity, and I congratulate her for that. My right honourable friend has asked me to, the Secretary of State for Scotland, has asked me to answer in this debate today. As the honourable lady and her and the whole House will know, the United Kingdom government is committed to ensuring that all parts of the country have the tools to grow their local economies. As such, I'm pleased that we now have the city deal that was referred to earlier in this debate, that's either in progress or in pre-negotiation stages for each and every one of Scotland's 7 cities. I think that's important, and it's been mentioned earlier, and I wanted to reiterate that, because no other part of the United Kingdom has achieved that. Every one of Scotland's 7 cities now has one of those city deals in progress, or has achieved it, or in pre-negotiation. And that is an indication of the United Kingdom government's commitment to ensuring that all parts of the country have the tools to grow their local economies. Now, as the House is no doubt aware, Madam Deputy Speaker, such deals in Scotland are tripartite. That is to say, they are arrangements involving the United Kingdom government, but also the Scottish government and the local area in which they are active. Since 2014, the United Kingdom government has worked in partnership with the Scottish government and worked well to agree 3 ambitious city deals which cover Glasgow City Region, Aberdeen and Aberdeenshire City Region, and Inverness and the Highlands. And it's worth noting that local leaders in those 3 areas believe that once fully implemented, these city deals will unlock significant new investment in Scotland. At the budget in 2016, the United Kingdom government committed to opening city deal negotiations with Edinburgh and South East Scotland, and negotiations for this deal are now in progress and underway. And at the autumn statement in 2016, Her Majesty's government similarly committed to opening negotiations with Stirling and Clackmannanshire and the Tay cities. So our priority now is to take forward this significant body of work in partnership with the Scottish Government and all the relevant local authorities, because this is something that we work in partnership and have been working in partnership with, as I say, the tripartite arrangements. And following the autumn statement, I'm pleased to confirm that the Scottish Government will have more than £800 million of additional capital funding through to the year 2020-2021 to support such proposals. £800 million. Now, I understand, Madam Deputy Speaker, that there is interest in other areas for further deals. And it is, of course, open to the Scottish Government, given their devolved responsibility for economic development and using the significant resources available to them, to take forward projects to enable growth in areas such as Ayrshire, that beautiful area, if they wish to do so. So I think it is very important to emphasise the fact that the Scottish Government do have devolved responsibility for economic development. They do have the resources. They have significant resources available to them, and those resources have been increasing. And that enables them to take forward projects such as the one she's referring to, and to enable growth in areas such as Ayrshire. I notice, indeed.
I thank the right honourable gentleman for giving way, and he will be aware that my constituency of Livingston is one of the areas that's currently under discussion. But for areas like Ayrshire, and I congratulate my honourable friend for raising this debate and for speaking so passionately about her area, these are areas of Scotland that were damaged out of recognition, and their industrial areas damaged very badly by the previous Conservative government. So it is absolutely incumbent on him and his colleagues to make sure that those wrongs are righted by deals such as this proposed for Ayrshire.
Well, I don't accept that characterisation. I think it's important to note, in fact, when we look at the constituency of North Ayrshire and Arran, that employment in that constituency, is up by 1,100 over the last year, and up by 300 since 2010. So things are clearly moving in the right direction. I'll give way.
Could I ask the honourable gentleman, he talks about the importance of city deals, and he's absolutely correct, and their importance, but I put it to the honourable gentleman, does he think that it's fair that communities who don't happen to be part of a big city are left to suffer without United Kingdom Government support. He mentions the Scottish Government, quite rightly. The Scottish Government is on board, it's doing all it can. But I said in my speech, and I know the Honourable Gentleman was listening, that the support from the United Kingdom Government really was quite essential here.
Hear, hear.
And
Hear, hear.
is Ayrshire to be punished simply because, by an accident of geography, it doesn't happen to be part of a city?
Hear, hear.
Here.
Clearly, the Honourable Lady represents a picturesque rural area, but she will recognise, no doubt, that the United Kingdom Government has provided very significant support to those areas of large conurbations, those city areas, very significant support by way of the city deals. We use those as an example of the United Kingdom Government support, the Westminster Government support for those areas. And that is, of course, the proof of the pudding is there. It is in that eating. It is an example of the support that the government has been giving. So it is open to the Scottish Government. They do have devolved responsibility for economic development, and there is no rationale for disregarding the fact that the Scottish Government, wishing to have that devolved responsibility, does have it and can use very significant resources available to them. I'll give way, the Honourable Gentleman.
Thank you for giving way one more time. Clearly the hope today was this would be a very consensual debate and we'd talk about working together. What we are hoping to achieve is another tripartite agreement involving the UK Government, the Scottish Government and the local councils, and that's not the message that we're hearing right now, which is a bit disappointing. Many of our Ayrshire communities have been devastated by the loss of coal mining, particularly and myself and my honourable friends' constituencies, rope and cast coal mining. UK Government did not contribute anything for restoration of those mines, so we're really hopeful the UK Government could work together with the Scottish Government and provide money for this.
The United Kingdom Government is working together with the Scottish Government in a myriad of different ways, and many examples can be given of very positive developments in those areas. For our part, in addition to working to deliver the 7 city deals across Scotland, we will look at this in the context of wider UK government policy. If I could just finish this point, if I may. I'm conscious of the time. We need to look at this in the context of wider UK government policy, including the industrial strategy and the National Productivity Investment Fund. So I'll give way.
It leads exactly to the point I want to make. In the meeting that the 4 of us had that I managed to secure with the Minister from BEIS Department, he seemed particularly interested in this deal, in that it's a non-city deal. We have 3 large towns but no city, and that therefore there would be the potential to learn from that projects and ideas that could be shared elsewhere. Ayrshire is way at the left-hand end of the GVA scale. All the cities that actually have got deals starting from a better position than Ayrshire is. We have pockets of absolute rural and urban deprivation.
We want to look at all of these issues, and I've said that we will look in the context of UK government policy, including the industrial strategy, including the National Productivity Investment Fund, and this is something that is being looked at. And I mentioned the fact that the Secretary of State for Scotland went, I think, to Ayrshire just a few months ago, I think in June of last year. My noble friend, the Lord Dunlop, is due to go. The industrial strategy, Madam Deputy Speaker, is due to be published shortly, after which the United Kingdom Government will want to consider carefully how that sits along with the asks that are being made by the partners in Ayrshire and by others, so that we can help deliver the economic benefits that such proposals represent. So I would say to the Honourable Lady, following her eloquent remarks about the area which she has the honour to represent, that we are due to publish that industrial strategy shortly. We will, as a United Kingdom Government, be considering carefully, as I've said, how that sits alongside those asks being made by others, including in Ayrshire. And every consideration will be given to this matter, so that we can help deliver the economic benefits that such proposals represent.